All right, I wanted to cover a couple more things, and one of them is I don't know that we're going to have much to say on this, but I wanted to pick your brain anyway. So, 2023 saw the farewell of Kiss, a band that you and I have acknowledged more times than people care to listen to as being our gateway band, the band that turned us into rock and roll lifers. A tremendous, within arm's reach, you've got the Destroyer album. How about
That's
that?
one of my top 5 album covers that I had, that episode recent I did with that hangout I did with Claudio. Yeah.
Ken Kelly.
That's right.
Yeah. He also did Love Gun. You know what else he did that I did not know? He did the Rainbow Rising cover.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so apparently Kiss is done touring as human beings. And so I wanted to get your thoughts on number one. How do you feel about Ace and Peter not being on stage for that last show? And then number two, what are your thoughts on this whole Avatar thing going forward?
Well, what I've seen of the Avatar, I'm just going to just blindly dig into every orifice of your question. The Avatar thing, from what I've seen just online, just clips and stuff, doesn't look cool. It does not look cool. I think that it's, how long have they been working on that hologram idea,
Yeah.
I think that it's a great idea to maybe make a cartoon movie and use what I've seen as they're calling avatars, and that's going to be them. And I mean, it's still pumped in music. It's fake recorded tracks, and you're just watching this video game creature of the four, the demon, the star child, the spaceman, and the Catman.
Yeah.
I don't think, because people are already confused, and I've seen a few people say, so where am I going to go to see this show? And they don't realize you're going to go to Madison Square Garden.
Right.
You're going to go to the Sphere. Because I can see that in Las Vegas at the Sphere. There won't be a stage. You'll just be sitting in that ball looking up at the ceiling with those video game characters of Kiss just flying around with pumped in Kiss music. And you know what? That sounds like a really cool Vegas attraction. But for it to be a touring hologram, I mean, Dio did it with a live band, and then they had this sort of like area where Dio would pop up, and it's a hologram. And then obviously they have a track of him singing, and, the band's playing the music, and it's lined up with, and it's a production. That's been done, but that doesn't sound like the same thing, really.
Right.
The same haters that were hating on that Dio hologram, I understand you're feeling like you're getting ripped off. In some, they think that that's a soulless thing, to do that. Well, you should be the ones complaining about this Kiss thing. I'm not even here to complain about it. I'm just saying it doesn't look that cool to me. I'd rather watch Black and White Winterland 1975 San Francisco on my TV at home.
Right.
Because it's real dudes, playing and just killing it. And it's raw and punk rock and so over the top.
Yeah.
And this is not over the top. Kiss is originally supposed to be over the top. And this is not over the top.
Right.
Is Scooby-Doo going to come out? See where my brain is?
Yeah. I commented somewhere on social media on this topic, and I basically said just what you said. Like it or not, this thing is going to play arenas, and people are going to show up.
Yeah.
I don't have that confirmed. I have no idea. I'm just speculating, but I could see this touring as an arena attraction. And guess what? I could see people buying, $200 tickets to go see it too. And I just don't get that, man. I don't get it.
They haven't really, I'm uninformed, and I apologize
Nobody's informed yet.
Okay, that's fair. So listen, what if, because I don't know, is Kiss going to go make a new record and then they're going to pump in that new record and these cartoons are going to jump around and mime to the new record? You see what I'm trying to say? It could go that way. Are they going to go into the studio and record themselves playing live and then use that live and, you know, people, how y'all doing? You know, is Paul going to do his thing? And then they're going to make the avatar move the mouth to what he's doing in the studio, pre-recorded live. See, so could be kind of interesting on those, in those lines. But uninformed is where we are right now. So.
Yeah, we're uninformed. To be fair, we have no idea what the future plans are. But I just got to say, you know, honestly, I wasn't that interested in seeing the quote unquote real Kiss in the past 10 or 15 years. So why would I go see an Avatar? They don't really change up the set list that much. I've just seen them so many times. Ticket prices are outrageous. Why would I go see an Avatar of this band? And you know, but
well, Into the Road Tour, it seems like, and this goes back to part of your initial question. Why didn't they just lease a bus and put Ace and Peter on it and have them walk out for Shout It Out Loud at the very end?
Yeah, I mean,
and pay them to be there,
right?
And come out and hug and do a bow.
And that's it.
And Ace and Peter and Ace and Peter probably wouldn't have even had to dress up and wear the makeup. Be comfortable, be Ace Frehley, be Peter Criss, come out and hang with us and just chill. We'll, you know, maybe do a Q&A in the lobby. Who knows? You know, something cool.
Something cool. But I think Kiss would have gone out in a more favorable light had they done that. And the people that were there would have had bragging rights on something huge.
Well, they would have shat.
Yeah. That's what they could call the Avatar band. Shat.
Oh, shat.
Okay, enough on Kiss, but I was just curious.
And that's kind of where I'm at being as uninformed dumbass as I am. But I like it that you asked a real question.
Yeah, and you're not a dumbass. I don't think there's been a lot of public information yet, so we really don't know.
Well, and they've said farewell before.
Right.
So they could do more gigs. Why don't they just play 10 shows a year?
Well, that's not off the table from my understanding. I think the big hubbub with this farewell end of the road thing is they were no longer going to do it. And every band says this. They got to put the little asterisk next to it and say, hey, we never said we wouldn't play again. We just said we're not going to do the 6-month-long tours and whatever. And I get all that, but just call it what it's going to be, okay? So anyway, I know how much Kiss means to me and you, and supposedly this was the last big bow. Who knows? We've heard it before, and this whole Avatar thing is a new concept. And personally, from what I've seen and heard about it initially, I have no interest in all. But that's just me. I wanted to touch on a couple of live shows before we close out. I wanted to give a shout to our buddy Bobby Rock, who hooked me up at the Pantera show in Austin in late August. Oh my God, it was brutal hot. But I want to say I saw Pantera with Benanti and Zach, and I got to say it was a great time, man. I know there's been a lot of speculation, or a lot of debate rather, about this whole doing it without the Abbott brothers. I get it. But I will say that as far as, 2 hours worth of entertainment and hearing those songs again and all their monstrous glory, it was awesome. And I had a great time. That was a standout gig for me this year. And I wanted to tip my hat to Bobby Rock for making that happen.
Yeah, Bobby's good people, and that's not a secret.
Yeah.